I'm a little disheveled today. I just got a shower. Still have bronchitis if y'all can't hear that. So if I start coughing and you hear it go mute, just bear with me. I have a really loud cough and I don't want to deafen people today. So just struggling. Whatever this wind has been blowing everywhere has just been brutal. I'm exhausted. I do not recommend it. It is a special kind of hell. Besides, like, coughing yourself to death, it makes you tired. 12 stones can't breathe, and so your heart and your lungs are working at least twice as hard. So in 12 stones, it looks like I've been drinking Mullen tea. Filter doesn't catch it all. Hi, Lori. How are you? Like I said, I'm going to be muting it. Oh, my goodness. I can't believe it's already Tuesday. I've been meaning to go live for the last 2 weeks, and last week I actually got bronchitis over a week ago, and last week I didn't have the energy, so I just decided to give myself some time off. And then now I was like, I don't feel any better, but hopefully you'll. What have y'all been up to? I can't believe it's been like 3 weeks since I've been on here. Chrome, yes, a police manhunt. I'll get into that in just a second. I'm trying to get my I've been making Mullen by, I have like I think it's a gallon jar, and I've been making it by like the half gallon and keeping it in the fridge, and it's good cold. But James heated me up a bunch and added some local honey right before the live started. Like, can y'all see my mug? It says She's Crafty. My mom got this for me a couple years ago. So what's been new in y'all's lives for the last 3 weeks? Besides working and working and working. My poor husband, I can't mute my cough at night, so he just has to listen to me cough myself to death and wake him up. I had a coughing fit really, really bad last night, and he woke up from my coughing before I did, so I woke up in the middle of a cough, which is really scary because you wake up in like full flight or fight mode, and you just wake up in it, and you're like, oh, what's going on? It's really disorienting. But luckily he took care of me. Chrome just said, just trucking around. Yeah, where are you this time? You're always in a different state. That's awesome. I'm jealous. That sounds like a lot of fun. I haven't ever done any bow hunting. I went hunting for the first time 3 years ago. And then I took off in 2021 because I didn't have anywhere to hunt. And then this past year I went, and there were deer everywhere, but none came near enough to get us where we were, which was a disappointment. I-45 North. Oh, yeah. I've driven that many times. Are you in Texas still then? Speaking of I-45 North, so for those of you not familiar with Dallas and like Texas in general, I-45 goes from like Houston all the way up to Dallas, and then in Dallas it turns into 75, and that continues up through like Oklahoma and other states and stuff. And so I was actually on the I-75. Well, it's not interstate yet, but they're making it into an interstate. So like basically 45 going north. I was in McKinney. I guess this was 2 weeks ago. It's been a while. I've wanted to tell this story for a long time. And I go to my chiropractic appointment, which is in McKinney, off of 380. So 380 goes from McKinney to Denton, and that's like one of the big roads. The University of North Texas is on it. What's the other university in Denton? Texas Women's University, and then there's a couple of like McCee's is also on 380, but in the McKinney. And as he's like the intersection's like this, and he's on the northeast side, right off the main roads, but you have to turn on a little road and then turn into his parking lot. So right as I'm on 380 about to turn onto the little road to get to the parking lot, I see a cop just flying, and he turns into, I don't know. I'm sitting at the light. I'm trying to do a left turn. I turn left, and I'm on that little back road about to turn into this parking lot, and they come out from the parking lot they turned into the road I'm on, about a block from me, and they block. So I walk into the chiropractor's office, and I was like, dude, something's going on. Like, I'm not really sorry. I'm not sure what's going on, but something is going on. There's police surrounding us. So my chiropractor walks outside. He's like, man, there's a lot of police officers around here. I don't know what's going on. I said, well, I wonder if we'll hear it on the news. And he goes, no, we won't hear it on the news unless it's some big political thing. There's a lot that happens around here. We won't know. So my appointment's like 45 minutes long. And so like he's in like a strip mall, and then right beside him there's an alleyway and then an academy. So you have to turn out of his parking lot, go up, and turn into the academy parking lot. But when I pulled out of his office, I saw one police officer, and I was like, okay, whatever has happened has calmed down. Like, we're good to go. I didn't feel unsafe. I had some protection with me. And so I was like, I don't feel like I should flee the area. So I went to literally next door, came out of his parking lot, turned into the next parking lot to the academy. And I was going to go get like a water bottle like this for James. No big deal, right? Just get adjusted, get a water bottle, and then I was going to go get a smoothie after. So I go in, I'm in an academy for like maybe 15 minutes. I come out of academy, get in my car, and I start driving out of the parking lot to go back to, I wanted to get a Smoothie King. We don't have one near us, and I love the Smoothie King smoothies. So I was going to go get a Smoothie King smoothie. All of a sudden, 7 police officers in the academy parking lot, and they surround me. Like the whole block parking lot, it's a big area, surround me. I'm like, oh crap. You've seen police stuff before where there's a couple over here or a couple over there. They circled an area, and you look around, you're like, okay, I'm not in the middle of it. I feel safe. I feel fine. I look around, and I'm in the middle of it. Like, they're all the way around me. I could see probably 30 police officers all the way around me. And then the road that I needed to turn out of the parking lot, there was a police officer, and he stopped in the way. And he had his window down. I tried to get a hold of a couple of the other officers, but they didn't have their windows down, and they were in a hurry. He had his down. I rolled mine down. I said, sir, I don't know which way to avoid. He goes, well, avoid that way. I'm like, well, great. That's the way I need to go home. And so at this point, I'm not really terrified, but I'm a little concerned what's going on. So I was like, okay, well, I don't really want to be a sitting duck in my car. I don't want to have to use my protection. That's the last resort. I don't want to be between whatever they're hunting for and the officers. I don't want to be like hostage or get my car hijacked or anything like that. So I wasn't sure what to do. So I thought about it for a couple seconds, and I said, well, I'm going to go back to my chiropractic office because he also had some protection. The other patient there had some, and I had some, and I was like, well, if it's like an active shooter sort of situation, we can lock up in his office, and then they're 3 against 1, that kind of thing, and just hunker down until we could figure out what was going on. So I go back. The other patient's just finished his appointment. He's paying and leaving. And I say, I don't know what's going on, but there's police everywhere, and I just got surrounded again. And they go, what? I said, I didn't know what to do. And they were both men. So I was like, I'd rather be with a group of men that are armed than just by myself because, like as a woman, you're a lot weaker than men. You're a lot, not as strong and stuff. So I was like, I'd rather surround myself with people that I know are stronger than me in case something happens, because we didn't know what was going on. And this was like maybe 10 miles from the Allen Outlet Mall shooting that had happened 2 months ago. I guess it's been like 3 months ago. So same area roughly. And like I said, I had no idea what was going on. I've never seen so many officers in my entire life. So I I was joking. We were joking around. I said, I was just trying to get an adjustment, a water bottle, and a smoothie. And my chiropractor, his son's 16, and he was there too. And he's like, well, I'm going to take my son to go get a smoothie. You can just follow us there, and we'll travel together and make sure everybody gets safe. And I said, okay. So we walk out, all four of us walk out of the office. And at that time, 3 more police officers come piling into behind his office. And so we went and talked to one of the officers, and we said, what's going on? He goes, oh, there's a manhunt. We're looking for a black guy. He gave us his description. One of the guys asked if that guy was armed, and they said, well, we don't know for sure. We assume he is. We wouldn't be surprised. He's a really bad guy. And so, we were like, okay, do we need to go back in and hunker down? Like, what's the situation? He goes, no, y'all are fine. Just don't talk to him, just avoid him, call us if you find him. So at this point, I'm feeling good. I was never like terrified, but it is weird to look around and see. So they were surrounding, it was like a big shopping area, and they would just go through each parking lot and surround each parking lot. Well, the area I was in, I could see 30 to 40 police officers, and I know they weren't just surrounding mine because they'd surround like 3 at a time. And then they would, once they cleared that parking lot, ones from this side would go and surround the next parking lot, and they just like stair step through the parking lots. So I knew there were way more than I could see. And I knew they were all around us. And, it's scary to look around and you're in the center of it. But I never felt immediately in danger, and I knew I had somewhere safe I could go to. So I was like, I'd rather be safe and a little paranoid than sorry. And so we ended up, I got to Smoothie King. My chiropractor and his son got there too, and we got smoothies, and we were joking about, oh yeah, I see you made it safely. And then, I went a different way than he went, and I kept running into cops. Like, they were everywhere. And I asked him, he goes, oh, I didn't see any more the way we went. He went a back way. So, we were laughing and joking about it. And once we found out it was just a manhunt, it made us feel better. At least I did. I don't think the guys were ever really worried about it, but I was concerned. And they're like, oh, yeah, he might have one shoe. I'm like, okay, I don't really know many people that want to run around with just one shoe unless they're on drugs. Like, something crazy is going on. So, I get my smoothie. It's like 5 miles from the chiropractic office. Maybe not quite that far, but far enough that we weren't in the center of it anymore. And I get my smoothie, and I said, all right, well, thanks for the help. I guess I'm going to go home now. So I went home, back to my parents' house, rather. And I tell my parents, I'm like, you're never going to believe what happened. I was in the middle of this manhunt. And it was, the way I'm explaining it, it doesn't sound as like dramatic as it was in the moment. I wasn't afraid, but it was weird to just be surrounded by officers. I mean, they were everywhere. And, this was 8:30 in the morning. It wasn't like, I don't know, but you could tell when I saw the 6 first turn in originally, you could tell that they were still, like the chase had already been on for a while, because they weren't just like immediately responding. You could tell that they were chasing this guy before 8:30. So I go about my day. I take a nap after my adjustment because, like usual, I'm tired. And I think about 3 o'clock that day, my chiropractor texts me a video, 2 videos. And 5 blocks from his office, right where I first saw the cops turn in, they got the guy. They had him surrounded, but it was right outside another chiropractor's office, one of my doctor's friends. And from the chiropractor that took the video, you could see 7 officers with their guns drawn, pointing at this guy in a parking lot. And I know there were more on the other sides. So, I mean, they're all like, don't move, and screaming at him. And I counted 7 officers like this, and you're like, okay. And it's right, 10 foot outside this guy's office. And so then I get another video of them handcuffing the guy and hauling him off in a police cruiser. So I don't know what he did. I never found it in the news. It's probably just an everyday thing for McKinney. And I don't know. So it's like a shopping center, and then it's an old neighborhood, so there's a couple houses in the middle, so I don't know if he was in people's backyards or hiding in dumpsters. There's some homeless people that hide in the dumpsters and stuff, so I've seen him sleeping in the trees outside my doctor's office. So I don't know if he was jumping between dumpsters or in somebody's yard or what, but it took them at least 6 hours to find the guy in a 5-block radius. It was crazy. And so it was just so funny to get a video from my doctor friend of, this guy being held at gunpoint and they arrested him and stuff. And then it was interesting because, like, you see or hear, but you don't ever experience it. And then to actually get a video of it happening, it was weird to get a conclusion to that morning. It was wild. Like I said, I never felt like like I was in immediate danger. I would have never have gone to academy in the first place if I walked out of my doctor's office and said, okay, there's something off here that I need to leave. And I never, in the whole area, I never even saw a Black person in general, like, which is weird because it's a very diverse area. A lot of people from China live there now. It's like kind of like a mini Chinese area. And like I said, very diverse. And so I normally run across people from all walks of life every day there. And I didn't see a single Black person or anything. And I was like, this is kind of weird, And so, not that would to me, but the fact that, like, I didn't really come across anybody. I came across maybe 3 people, even in the store. And so I didn't have this, there's a crack addict running through the woods, running through the parking lot kind of feel. I didn't feel in danger at all. I was a little wary of something, but I wasn't concerned. Like I said, if I'd walked out of the chiropractic's office and felt in danger, I would have either stayed or gone home immediately, not gone to run errands. So it was very weird. It was very weird. So I don't know I don't know who the guy was. I don't know what he'd done, but he'd obviously been in trouble before. And so, yeah, it was a really strange situation. And like I said, I was trying to get a water bottle, an adjustment, and a smoothie, and it ended up being like a 2-hour ordeal just trying to, like, navigate that. But like I said, I was really grateful. It wasn't an active shooter situation. It wasn't like an immediate danger, like a gang or, a lunatic or anything like that. It was just some guy trying to hide out from the cops. I don't know if he'd hurt somebody previously, but like what I was involved in was about as low key as you can get for that sort of thing, but it was still chaos. Like I said, I didn't even know the city of McKinney had that many police officers. Every single one I saw said McKinney on the side, and I saw 30 to 40. I'm sure they had backup from other areas, but I didn't know McKinney had that many police officers. It was wild. But yeah, so I'm really grateful. It was very low key for that sort of situation, and it could have been a lot worse, and I'm really glad it wasn't. It's always funny to me when people are like, oh, why do you carry some safety measures with you? And I was talking to my dad about it. He goes, well, if someone asks you that, just tell them, why do you buckle your car, like your seatbelt in your car? You assume you're not going to get in a wreck, but are you going to chance it? And so I've had several different times where I'm really glad I had pepper spray and things like that. Just in case, you never want to be in that situation, but I've been in situations like that several times now, and I've never regretted being a little bit more prepared. So yeah, it was wild. I've been holding in that story for y'all for 2 weeks. So, I wanted to tell y'all that day, but yeah, thank y'all. I'm grateful. Like, I don't think any officers got injured. They were all really stressed out and tired. Obviously, that's a stressful situation, but nobody was injured. I don't even think they had to tase the guy. I could be wrong. I didn't see him get tasered in the video, but I don't know. So, let me catch up on comments though. Let's see. Lori, I had my second knee replacement last Monday, so I'm working on recovery. Lori, I'm praying for you. I hope you're healing quickly and that pain. Heather says she's doing okay. How are you? I'm doing all right. Fighting bronchitis. I might not have much of a voice after that story, but hi Sharon, how are you? Yeah, it was of all the manhunts I would ever want to be in, I never want to be in any, but of all the ones that I'd have to be involved in, I would rather that because it was like I never felt in danger, but I was making sure that I wasn't going to end up in danger, if that makes sense. You can be stupid and not know what's going on and just carry about your day and not pay attention to what's around you and end up in a really bad situation just because you're careless. And that's something that they teach you in a lot of training is it's more important, or I'd say more important. It's more important to be aware of your situation and your surroundings than whether you have pepper spray or a pistol or, an armed guard. Your awareness is your first line of defense. And so, and I don't even want to have to pepper spray somebody. I really don't. Like, that's, life or death situation. So if I can be smart about what I am and what's going on around me and what I can do to make sure that a situation doesn't escalate, I'm going to do that first. And so it was like a good, it wasn't a practice run for the officers, obviously, but it was a good low-key practice run for me. Like, what would I do in that sort of situation where I didn't actually feel like I was going to have to respond with violence or, self-defense. And so I was really grateful for that opportunity to just kind of get a feel for how I'd respond in a certain situation. And, I kept a really clear head. I was never like freaked out or anything, which I was kind of surprised because when you see cops circling you and enclosing on you, I think it'd be really easy to panic, and I feel like I would have normally, but I was I don't know, I'm probably explaining it like it wasn't scary, and it wasn't like I said, I didn't feel threatened for my life, but it was concerning for sure. And so to be able to kind of almost do it wasn't a simulation, but almost do like a simulation of how would you respond in that kind of situation was interesting. It gave me a lot to think about of just, preparation for something. Because when you take classes, they tell you, okay, you need to think about different daily situations, and if something happened or someone did this, how are you going to respond? And so it was interesting to experience that in real time, and not in like an imaginary kind of role play kind of thing, but like an actual situation without having to do anything myself, which was it gave me a lot of unique perspective. Sharon Bolton says, I have a granddaughter that lives in McKinney. Yeah, I grew up 25 minutes north of McKinney. I grew up in Howe. That's my hometown. And so I went to community college in McKinney for a while. And like anytime, Sherman never had a lot of stores. So anytime we need to go get shopping, like, a prom dress or an Easter dress or, anything that like Walmart pretty much didn't have, we'd go to McKinney. So I kind of grew up in McKinney too. Chrome 13, thank you. Yeah, it was weird. Hi, Susie Jacobson. How are you? Hi, Sam. James says pretty epic manhunt story. I feel like I butchered it because I'm a little foggy in my mind from bronchitis, but it was a weird situation. I'm just glad. I'm glad that there was no threat. Like I said, I didn't feel like I was threatened. I just didn't want to make a dumb mistake and become, you don't want to just like turn into a parking lot and end up between the cops with their guns out and the criminal. Like, you don't want to just appear in the middle of it. And then, I don't think anyone was hurt, bystanders, or like I said, the officers were safe. And then, like I said, I don't even think they had to tase the guy. I could be wrong. I didn't hear that much detail, but I'm just glad no one got hurt. And I'm really grateful for our police officers. There's a lot of crap that they get from people. And I've definitely run across a couple of police officers, in the college town I lived at, that they had a really bad attitude and they did some stupid stuff. Um, but I'm really thankful that we have guys like that, and women too, that are willing to go out and put their life on the line and show up and be involved in a manhunt and not know if they're going to get attacked or stabbed or shot or whatever. And they're just out there doing that, and they don't get paid very well either. So really grateful for people like that. Well, I'm going to chug some tea. But yeah, it was an interesting situation. And I think too, like, McKinney has a university there. Well, I say a university, a college there, but the police officers in College Station were more rude because they had to deal with rude college kids. And a lot of them the police officers were young. And like my apartment that I lived in for a couple years, we had, it was kind of like a hotel. You had to scan your key card to get into the building, and then you could go in and unlock your apartment. And I remember one time a police officer, I was on the ground floor, flashed his light in my windows, and I was like, oh, it's some drunk person, being dumb. But I had this weird feeling about it, so I walked around to the gated part, and they're like, let us in, let us in. Never said who they were, anything. And I happened to catch a glint of their badge in the light, and I thought they were EMTs, actually. And I opened the door, and they were young, like early 20s. And they're like, you took forever. And I said, well, y'all didn't identify who you are. I thought you were some drunk kids, if you shine a light in my window, bang on it and yell at me, and like, I'm not gonna, how do I know you're not breaking in? That kind of thing. So there's definitely inexperienced people, but that's in everything. Still, I'd take those guys over a lot of other people just because, they care. They really are trying. So my goodness. I'm going to chug some more of this. Hold on. Every time I cough, it feels like a train wreck. Like my ribs hurt, my chest, your head. You get like a mini concussion. I cough really hard and really loud. So again, I apologize for deafening y'all with each cough. Oh, Mullen tea, man, it helps. Oh, man. But yeah, so that's my manhunt story. Hope to never be in anything like that again. I guess kind of, James and I weren't really in a manhunt, but that time at my apartment, we were studying for some exams, and they tried to, like, not bust in my apartment, but I thought they were trying to break in, and it turns out they were trying to get some people upstairs for like a drug arrest. So it's kind of like a mini raid, I guess. I've never gotten a ticket. I've been pulled over 3 times. Each time has been for 4 times. Each time has been for an out headlight. I either have like really boring police stories or have like crazy ones. One time I had a police officer. I was pulling into James's apartment. It was like 11:30 at night, and we were going to go do a moth survey for the university. So we'd set up black lights out in a park, and we'd catch bugs. So we were leaving to go do that. Again, 11:30 at night. I'd just been pulled over by an officer for a headlight, and from where I got pulled over from my apartment, his was like a mile and a half, not even. I pull into his apartment complex, again, 11:30 at night, park. It's kind of dark, and I see this car stop. Like, I'm pulled into a parking lot. I can't see a car pull up behind me and block me into my spot. And I'm like, okay, it's late at night. His apartment complex wasn't super sketchy, but it was a little dark and a little iffy. And I'm like, crap, I'm going to have to pepper spray person, because this person got out and started walking up against my car. I'm like, man, I'm about to get mugged or something. As he's passing my back window, in my side mirror, I see a flash of a badge. And I roll down my window. I'm like, what do you want? I was pissed because I thought I was about to get robbed. And I told him, I said, you know, you didn't even turn on your lights. You blocked me into a parking spot. You never identified yourself. And, you know, it's late at night and I'm a young woman. I think I was like 21 at the time. I was like, yo, you know, I want to make sure that you're safe and somebody's going to do something sketchy because they don't know that you're a police officer because you didn't identify yourself. Like if you turned your lights on and pulled in and blocked me, that would have been fine. But to be in a black car and pull in and block me into my spot and then creep up alongside my car. And it was for the out headlight. I was like, man, y'all are going to make me do something stupid. Not stupid, but like, I thought I was going to have to defend myself. I really did think I was getting carjacked and it was an officer pulling me over in a really sketchy way. So I have like really calm, boring police stories, or I have really crazy ones, and they're about half and half. I never get like a normal police interaction. I don't know why. I don't know. Do y'all have any crazy police officer stories where you just getting like, I don't know if I have bad luck, and I just end up in weird stories? Do y'all have that problem, or is it just me? Sam, I didn't. I opened it just a tiny bit, and I'm always trying to be respectful because like they're just doing their job. But I was like, "What do you?" I was like, "Yes," and he goes, "You know?" I said, "Yes, I know I have an out headlight." I was upset because I was afraid, and I said I was just pulled over. I have the campus officer wrote me like a warning, which I thought was weird for a headlight. Because again, 11:30 at night, a young woman, where am I going to go get a headlight to replace in my car at 11:30 at night? You know, even Walmart didn't have it. He goes, well, I need to see that. And I handed it to him. So yeah, I was not about to like roll down my window. Because again, it could be, we had some people in the area that were impersonating police officers. So like, I was very concerned. So do y'all have any crazy stories, or is it just me? Because I feel like it's just me. I don't know. But yeah, I'm involved in weird stuff, and like all I do is just, I worked for the university. I was in college and I made soap, and I still end up in the weirdest situations. Thankfully not actually dangerous, but have the potential to be, I guess. Sam says the next best thing to have your phone on record with somebody. I've had one experience with cops, not good either. Yeah, that's a good point. I just didn't, like, I had just pulled into my parking spot and shifted my car into park when I saw the glint of the vehicle behind me. So I didn't even have time to like call anybody, and I didn't want him to think I was on my phone while I was driving, because in College Station, it was the first city in Texas to outlaw obviously texting and driving, but also like you can't even hold your phone and be on the phone. The texting and driving, the people on their phones is really bad there, and so they had outlawed that already. And so I had to be, I didn't know what to do. It was so fast. Sharon, I've had some encounters with the officers over the years, some fun, some sketchy, some not so good. See, and then there's people like my grandfather. He got pulled over by I think it was a state trooper, and my grandfather's 88, he's an old guy, he can do whatever he wants. And there was a young guy in his 30s that pulled him over, and the officer walks up to his window. He goes, "Does your mama know you're out here playing on the highway?" And the cop just laughed, and my grandfather was speeding like 10 over. And he's like, "Just slow it down, sir." And my grandfather's like, "Yeah, I will." And then just, I'm like, how? How do you get away with that? I don't know. I guess I didn't get my grandfather's luck. I don't know. Goodness. All right. Before I lose my voice completely, I want to show y'all. I was trying to find. I just had it. I was going to put some hand sanitizer on. Get all nice and clean here. So, I think I posted about it on here. I don't think I've done an actual video, but I made some Halloween soaps. This is totally switching gears really fast, but just bear with me. I made some Halloween soaps, and I wanted to show them to y'all. They are available on my website. Um, I've never done something like this before, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm really excited about it. Now, I have a huge Halloween event on Sunday, this Sunday, the 1st. And so I will be pulling these soaps off of my website Saturday morning to pack them up for the event. So if you want to reserve yours now, I would recommend doing it ASAP, because I have a feeling they're going to be sold out at the Halloween event. So I would say reserve yours now before I pull them. Lori, I know, I can't wait. I hope you'll like them. But let me pull them down. I have a big shelf up here full. I can't even reach them all because some of them are so tall. So I did something really fun. I've never done it before, but you can actually make soap into like a Play-Doh form. You pour it like you normally would pour soap, but instead of letting it sit in a mold and be exposed to air, which is what makes the soap harden, you pour it into Tupperware, you seal it off, and then it becomes soap, but it's not hard yet. So it's like Play-Doh. It's really cool. I have some I could show y'all, but it's over there and I'm not going to get up. So I got a friend of mine to make some stencils for me, and then I took they call it soap dough. And so I laid the stencil over. If you saw my shorts on YouTube, you would have seen how I did it. Put the stencil, and then you scrape the soap paste into it, the soap dough. I don't know if y'all can see, but it's actually raised a little bit. So like it's textured. So I got to make these, and I really love them. The cat one is my favorite. Hi, how are you? So there's the cat, and I have a bunch of designs. So I have 4 different scents. This one is, wait, what is this one? Oh yeah, the black is lemongrass. Very clean, very fresh, amazing. Then the orange one, this one is scented with orange essential oil. It smells just like the orange poppy seed soap that I have, but it doesn't have the poppy seeds in it. The yellow is, this one is Awake. So it's very fruity. To me, it smells like Razzles candy, but everybody says it smells like candy. It's very brightening, uplifting scent. When you smell it, it kind of wakes you up. So I called it Awake. And then white is peppermint. So I have 6 designs. I have the clown, the bat, the cat, eyes, the peace sign, and then I also have a happy pumpkin. I don't know. There we go. The light was kind of washing it out. It's orange on white. And the spooky pumpkin. So I have each design and each scent. So, whether you want peppermint, lemongrass, Awake, or orange, you can choose whatever scent with whatever design you want. And again, they're really cool because I don't know if you'll be able to see on this one, but it's actually raised. It's probably, I don't know, 0.5 millimeter thick. So as you use it, the design will come off. Unfortunately, like I couldn't get it through the entire bar. I made these at last minute notice, but I really like them. They're really fun. I think my favorite is the cat, the spooky pumpkin, and then I really, really like the bat. I think that one's really fun. I can't reach it because I have shelving that goes up 10 feet, and so I can't reach it right now. But my favorite of the bat is I actually have it on the yellow, and it's black. So it looks like a bat flying in front of the moon. So I really, really like that one too. So if y'all want these, they're $10.50 on my website. They're maybe a little bit bigger than a normal bar, and there's a little bit more cost to them just because this took a long time to make the soap dough and then actually stencil it. So it took me a couple days to stencil. I think I made, I made probably 300 bars, I think, maybe a little bit more than that. And so to stencil all of them took me about 3 days on top of making the soap itself. So if you want these, I would go to brazosvalleysoups.com. You can search in the top search bar spooky soaps, and then there'll be the peppermint spooky soaps, the lemongrass spooky soaps, orange spooky soaps. I'm sorry. And the awake spooky soaps. So you can grab whichever ones you want. This one's my favorite, and I love the peppermint. I'm really excited because I have a big Halloween carnival festival thing coming up on Sunday, and so I actually made these designs for that, and then I was like, you know what, if I'm going to make them, I might as well make a bunch, and so I have some on the website. So like I said, I expect to sell a lot of them at the carnival, so if you want to reserve yours, I would do that now. Sharon says, I enjoyed watching the shorts on the Halloween soaps. They are so cool. Thank you. It was really fun. I'm not a big Halloween person. I'm not a big holiday person. I love Christmas and Thanksgiving, but like I'm not a holiday person. And I'm not a spooky. I don't like horror movies. I don't like anything like this. So this is terrifying to me. But they're really fun to do just because it's a creepy clown, and the carnival's theme is creepy carnival, and so I had to make some creepy ones. But I honestly like the fun ones like this because I think that's really cool. My sister-in-law, she called this, and they don't do Halloween either, and so she, instead of calling it a cat skeleton, she called it a cat X-ray, which I thought was pretty clever. Tana, I know, I'm so excited. I saw that you got the orange one. One and more, but with me being in the hospital, cash is tight till the 1st. If you have any left after the 1st, we may get some more. I totally understand. But yes, I will keep you posted. I think the 2nd, that Monday, I will be relisting anything. I'll be pulling them all down Saturday, and then anything that's left over from the event, I'll be putting back up that following Monday. So I will post about that, and then I'll be sending out orders that week too, so I can just combine your orders and refund shipping if you did get more. Yeah, Heather, when we were kids, we used to dress up and go trick-or-treating, but I also grew up in a Christian household, and then I was homeschooled, and so a lot of homeschoolers are like very against Halloween, which I get. And then like I know a lot of friends and family that were devout Catholic, and they are very, very, very against it. So they did the All Saints Day the next day, and that's totally fine. I don't do the Halloween meanings and all that kind of thing. It's fun to dress up as a little kid and get free candy. But I thought the soaps would be fun, and I tried not to go too like creepy or anything like that. But I'm really excited. The event's on. If you're in Central Texas, the event is on Sunday at 4 p.m. It's in Marquay. A photographer friend of mine, they do she does modeling and then photography and stuff like that. And so it's a Halloween modeling event. And so there'll be like a lot of people. It's under her boudoir photography because they're going to have like body paint. People are going to be body painted and stuff. So it's an 8+ event because of that. But it's more like an art collaboration with body paint artists and photographers and models. And they're going to have a pyrotechnic show and a mime and food trucks and vendors. I'm one of 4 vendors, which will be really fun. And they're going to have she has a horse, and they're going to paint the horse like a skeleton for photos and things. So it should be a lot of fun. Very different from what I'd normally do, but it's supporting one of my good friends. And just the art, I can appreciate the artwork and the skill that goes into stuff like that, even if it's not like, I don't really love Halloween. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. And so it's not like something I would normally do, but the artistry that goes in to the body painting and photography, and then modeling, that's a big skill. So it's a hard thing to do. So I'm excited to see all the artists come together. That'll be pretty fun. Halloween is my favorite. I'm glad. I love that people love it. I've never been like a big holiday person. I love Thanksgiving and Christmas because obviously Christmas is celebrating Christ's birth, so that's something I love. And Easter too, celebrating his death. But those were the Thanksgiving and Christmas are the days that my family gets together, and we have like big family gatherings of, my cousins and my grandparents and my aunts and uncles and stuff, and then my immediate family. So I just loved that. I love spending time with my family. So versus the other ones we wouldn't do much for. So Heather says, me too. I used to dress up. I sometimes hand out candy on that holiday. I honestly, when I was in college, I hated Halloween because my parents live in town, but they live on the edge of town. And so people would literally truck in trailers full of kids, park them in front of my parents' driveway. We couldn't leave. We were trapped at home. And they would just ring the doorbell, ring the doorbell, ring the doorbell. And I was in college and I was trying to study for exams. And so I couldn't ever focus. And so I hated it. So I go out to my grandparents out in the country and hunker down and study. But in general, I think it's fun. But now we live out in the country, so we can't hand out candy. We were going to at our apartment complex, and nobody trick-or-treated. So we didn't end up getting to do that. And also my dad he never liked handing out candy, and so he didn't care if we did, but he didn't always like us having to do that, and so we wouldn't really hand out candy that often. He's more of an introvert, and so he didn't really like the idea of having to talk to strangers and hand out candy all the time, which I don't blame him, but it was kind of funny. Oh man, but yeah, there's these. I still have beard oils. These are ones that I made that aren't labeled. I'm out of the 2 ounces, so these are 1 ounce containers. So I need to update the listing with the 1 ounces, but I have those too. Oh, and before we run out of time here, I want to show y'all something that I'm really excited about. And if you order here in the next week, you get one of these for free. You can also purchase them too. Let me see here. I've never done this before, and I'm really excited about it. I wanted to do something different. I will have them for hold on. These are, where are they? I'm gonna have to cover up the code. But let's see if you can see them. I don't know. It's probably backwards, but it says they're little, they're scratch-off tickets. And actually I have one. Or had one. I've been packing up orders and stuff, and my desk is like shipping supplies and stuff everywhere. Here it is. So I have 2 different sets. I have the sets that I'm selling in person, and then I have the sets that are selling online, because if you order them online, then you get a discount code for the website. But if you're in person, then you can redeem it in person. So they are called Brazos Valley Soaps, all tricks, no treats. You're guaranteed to win. This is one of the ones in person. So you can win 10, 15, or 20% off, or a buy one, get free soap bar, or a free lip balm. So they have, you can't really see it, but they have these scratch off stickers. And so they're $2, but if you order the next week, I will send them out for free with any size order. And you scratch them off, and then you win a prize. So you're guaranteed to win. And like I said, you can win 10, 15, or 20% off your order, or a free lip balm, or buy one, get one free bar. So the way that it will work for online, you'll get one of these, and it'll have this sticker on it. And when you scratch it off, it'll have a code. So I couldn't figure out how to do it on my website, where it'll give you a free lip balm, do the value of a free lip balm. So when you scratch it off, it'll show you the code. It'll be apparent what it's for. And then what you'll do is you'll go to my website and you'll add, lip balm to your cart. And then when you add that code, it'll take off $3.75, which is the cost of a lip balm. So it's not it'll take that out of your total, if that makes sense, versus showing up as a free product in your cart. It'll just take off the cost of it. So I'm really excited. Like I said, these are $2 on my website, but any order for the next week, any size order, I will include one. So, you could get up to 20% off on your next order. So, like I said, it's a physical thing. It'll ship to you. You'll scratch it off. And then, sorry, I was reading comments and I lost my train of thought. You'll scratch it off and the discount code will go to your next order. So, the cool part, like, it's a minimum of $3.75 off. But you can get, because that's what the cost of a lip balm is, also get, sorry, you can also get up to an unlimited amount off, because if you get a 20% off ticket and you spend, $100, well, that's a substantial savings. So it kind of caps out. Well, it doesn't really cap out. You can save as much as you spend, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited about these. I don't know if you can, there we go. I will have some for Christmas too, and there'll be Christmas ornaments instead of pumpkins. So if you want to get one of these, even if you want to give somebody a Christmas gift and you don't have a big budget, these are $2. Throw them in their stockings, throw them in a gift card bag, or, in a Christmas card, and then they save some money, or get something free. So I thought they were really fun. I wanted to add some kind of like interactive element to my company, and so I thought this was a fun way to do it. I was going to see if I had the stickers. And I think I shared a short about them too, but I just bought the little stickers, and then I put them on I printed out this card, and you just put them over, and you can see where it's reflective where the sticker is, and then you just scratch it off. So I'm really excited. Sharon, I remember good times during the Halloween season, and I still enjoy helping my grandkids with the costume. Oh, that's fun. Karen, I live in a senior apartment complex and no one but grandkids come. Oh, that's terrible. You'd think they'd have some kind of event or something. My grandparents never got trick-or-treaters either, besides grandkids and neighbors, like the 2 neighbors that they had that had kids. Lori, I need to try that. I've heard it's good, but I've never tried pineapple juice. My thing is, like, I get this tickle in the back of my throat, and when I talk or breathe, it just rattles, and the tickle makes me cough. So, but I've been eating, it's pretty strong, but I've been chopping up garlic and putting raw honey on it and letting it sit and then eating that, and it's very spicy, but it helps a lot. And then mullein tea, chai tea, coffee, obviously lots of water, essential oils, my vitamins. I'm trying to think what else I've been taking. I'm trying to avoid antibiotics because they make me feel really terrible. But this is over a week of this now, so I'm not contagious or anything like that. I have bad allergies, and so when the weather changes back and forth like it's done, then it makes my allergies flare up, and then it turns to bronchitis, and I usually get it twice a year. So it's pretty common for me. It's exhausting. But yeah. So anyway, I had to come on and finally get to tell y'all about the manhunt, because it was an adventure. And you don't expect to like come across that in your just day-to-day life. And then I had to share these Halloween soaps with y'all because they're really, really fun. And I hadn't actually gotten to show them to y'all on here. And then, of course, the scratch-offs too, because like I said, they'll be $2, but any order through the next week, so through next Tuesday, which would be the 2nd, I believe. No, the 3rd, October 3rd. You'll get a free scratch-off. And, you can use it for yourself. If you want to give it away, you can give it away. It's a totally free gift. You can do whatever you want with it. So I'm really excited. The BOGO, the buy one, get one free bar, it works the same way as the lip balm redemption code. So it'll give you the value of a free bar. So $9 So when you add it, instead of saying, oh, you gotten a free bar, you'll just add what you want to buy, and then you add that code, and it'll take off $9 from your total. Same thing with the lip balm. It'll take the cost of a lip balm off your total. So hopefully you'll enjoy these. I'm trying to gear up. This is the time of year that I make pretty much all of my income from this time of year. So I'd really appreciate, sharing my company, sharing my videos, sharing my products, on Facebook and stuff, with people that you know and people that you think would enjoy them, because what I make now, I live off pretty much for the rest of the year. And so any kind of support, share, a purchase, just giving a sample to your friend, that helps me a lot. And of course, getting on here and talking with y'all, I love, and that supports me too. And I really appreciate y'all coming and listening to me sound like a dying toad. I really appreciate it. Stephen, thank you. Yeah, we're all safe and good. Sharon, I'm glad I got to watch. I would have missed some cool soaps and scratch offs. I'm glad you got to come too. Thanks for joining. Have a good evening, everyone, and take care. We'll share and ask my family. Thank you, Heather. I appreciate it. I'm going to try to go live next week as well. And I'll be posting and updating on Monday what Halloween soaps I have left. But like I said, if you wanna for sure snag one, I would do it now. And they'll ship out next week. And yeah, I guess just have a good week, and I will see y'all soon. Have a good night. Bye.